This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per top.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination.
We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka. Hello, everybody. This is episode 700. It's brand new. And coming up tomorrow morning is another new one where I talk to Dewey Huynh. He created the Smart Desk. He really is the Smart Desk king. He sold over $10 million. You've probably seen these desks. Tune in tomorrow to find out what it costs and how he makes money on them. Good morning, everybody. My guest this morning is Connor Gilvin. He's a 27-year-old serial entrepreneur and published author. He started his first company out of his college dorm room and built it to sell over $20 million in products on Amazon.com. After becoming an expert at hiring online, he co-founded FreeeUp, an online hiring marketplace focused on connecting the top 1% of freelancers with business owners. He's the author of FreeeUp Your Business, 56 Secrets to Bootstrap $1 Million Companies. Connor, are you ready to take us to the top?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Okay, now, saying that you sold 20 million on Amazon sounds really impressive. You're kind of like dick swinging, which is totally fine. But how much money do you actually make from that? I mean, you probably have huge costs. Like, do you actually make money from Amazon?
Yeah, for sure. So we make about 20 to 30% gross profit margins off of that $20 million in sales. And then usually net profits end up being between 5 and 10%, depending on how we actually use the gross profits to pay employees and do other things to grow the store. So
call it, maybe you're taking $1 million to the bottom line in free cash flow.
Yeah, for sure. Out of the years that we've been working with the company. Yep.
Okay, got it. So this is not your company. It's one you're working with.
No, this is my company. I started this in college and continue to operate it today.
Okay. And how many years ago was college for you?
That was about 6 years ago now when we started the business, and that was about a sophomore in college.
Okay. And would you remember what first year gross merchandise kind of sales or what you moved that first year?
I think it was around 250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of sales, yep.
And how much did you make on that? Like you're taking your buddies out to the bars going, I just made X amount of money.
Exactly, yeah. It was probably a pretty small amount, but it felt like a hell of a lot when we were just in college and getting started. Do
you remember what the number was?
I don't, to be honest. Okay. Again, it was probably that 10 to 20% of those sales. So maybe $20,000 to $30,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Now, moving forward to where that company is today, is that still putting cash in your pocket, or do you have other expenses like a team or additional product lines or things like that?
Yeah, so that company, we scaled up to be pretty large and then ended up pulling back a little bit after learning a little bit about what the best suppliers were that we were working with and the best products that sold the best. So right now the company still operates. We're doing between $1 and $2 million in revenue per year. And we have a team of about 10 people located around the world, just freelancers, experts within different aspects of running Amazon stores who are helping us to run that company. So myself and my business founders aren't as involved in that as we used to be on a daily basis, but the company continues to run just because we know really well how to work Amazon. Do you get paid a salary from that still, or do you still make money from that, or no? Yep, we do. The three founders still make a salary. We pay out every quarter is how we do it now.
You just split whatever goes to the bottom line amongst the three of you?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what are you spending most of your time on now?
Yeah, so most of my time now is spent on FreeeUp, the second business that came after building up Portlight, which was the first Amazon business. And my business
Sorry, what was that, by the way, what was that Amazon business so folks can look it up? What was it called?
It was called Portlight.
Portlight.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, cool. Portlight.
Exactly.
What would you sell? What was the price point?
For the products that we're selling?
Yeah.
Average price point was around $75 to $100.
Interesting.
Yeah, we worked with drop ship relationships with suppliers around the United States. We didn't actually have our own products. We worked with others who manufactured, branded their own goods, and then we helped them sell them on Amazon. Okay, so yeah, let's now we understand that. Fast forward again to FreeeUp. So what year did you launch it in? Yes, sure. So we launched FreeeUp in the fall of 2015. Me and my business partner had learned a lot about hiring freelancers and remote workers through using Upwork and what used to be Odesk and Elance. And we didn't like the process of having to post jobs, interview people, hire them, and then figure out if they're going to be the right fit or not. And we spent a lot of hours wasted just trying to find the right people. And And so we wanted to create a better solution where the business owner didn't have to do that upfront work, could just come to a website, request exactly who they needed by saying, the skill they needed, the price they wanted to pay, and then the people would be ready for them. And so that's what FreeeUp does. We bring in people, we recruit them, we put them through our own interview process, we accept the top 1% of these workers, and then we make them available to our clients as they sign up to the network.
So how is this different than like Toptal, right? Which I think its logo is like top 3% of developers or something like that.
Yeah, so similar business model to Toptal. Toptal is more focused on your higher level developer and designer. Our workers are more specialized within e-commerce business operations and then also digital marketing. Okay. So those are where our core competencies lie in terms of our freelancers.
And so how do you make money? Is this like a typical marketplace?
Yep, typical marketplace. So we don't have any sort of upfront fees or anything. The way that we do it is our workers have a rate, and then we have a standard markup that we then charge to our clients for hourly rates between $5 and $50 per hour. The person, if you say you need someone and we say they're $25 an hour, you would pay that person $25 an hour. All billing occurs through the network, and then we handle paying the workers on the back end.
So continue that model. $25. I buy an hour of one of your digital marketers' time. What of that money goes to them, and what goes to you?
Yeah, it's usually we have a $2 minimum that goes to us, and then 20% is usually the other for like the higher priced workers.
20% goes to them, or you keep 20%?
We keep 20%, sorry.
God, I was about to say,
so 25,
if you're only sending 20% to them, I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, so you pay 25, we keep 20%, the rest goes to the worker.
Got it. So let's just break that down on just make the number easy. On $100 thing, you keep $2 flat no matter what, if it's $5 or $10,000. So $2 to you, and then of whatever's rest, 20% you keep, and the rest goes to the freelancer.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and how many, I guess over the past year and a half, how many sellers or freelancers selling their time have you paid at least $100 to?
So right now we have over 500 freelancers in the network who are billing hours on a regular basis. So probably over 500 easily for the freelancers. Yep.
I'm sure you probably track something like this, but what's the metric you use to track how much money you're like paying freelancers? Is it a monthly or weekly or daily or per job or average selling price or what?
In terms of like the expenses that go to the freelancers, you're saying?
Well, no, I assume one of your core business metrics to see if like you're providing value to both sides is to figure out like how much additional income you're creating for these freelancers. How do you measure that?
Yeah, so we can do that by just with like our internal reports. Our software will tell us how much we're actually paying freelancers on a weekly basis. The biggest metric for us is usually around how many hours we're billing to our clients. So on a weekly basis now, we're billing around 6,000 hours to our clients. Okay. And then we can use that metric to figure out how much is going to the freelancers and then how much revenue we're making from the clients.
And have you normalized across all your freelancers and figured out what the average like per hour billing is?
Yes, I do have that. It's around $10 per hour right now. I'm pretty sure that's what our average is.
Okay, so that means that per week you're processing about $60,000 worth of value. You're keeping 20%, and the rest is going out to your folks.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, that's about where we are too. We're doing between $60,000 and $80,000 in revenue per week.
Hold on. Is that the 20% you're taking, or that's the total volume you're processing?
That's total volume, total revenue.
Yeah. Yep. Your total revenue, I then assume per month, is somewhere around 60 to 80K per month.
That's per week. So then multiply that by 4, right? So between 300 and 400 per. Sorry.
Taking year revenue. Yeah. We're talking about two different numbers. So let's go to the month now, right? Each month you're processing about $300,000 worth of jobs, and you guys are keeping 20%, right? Or approximately, call it 60, 70, 80, right?
Yes, correct. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Okay, and how many buyers use your platform? How many entrepreneurs like me are using you guys to, find the freelancer?
Sure. So we have over 1,500 people signed up to the platform now, and then on a weekly basis, we're billing between 300 and 500 people who are actually using our workers. Okay. So it's not some people are billing on a regular basis who have workers that are working, either full-time or part-time week by week. And then we have a lot of people who will just use us for one-off projects where they're using a worker for a week or a couple weeks, and then they'll kind of go in and out of using workers.
Got it. And so historically, if you just look at your total data from founding date, how many buyers, CEOs like me, have put it, some amount of money through your platform to pay a freelancer?
Yeah, it's about 2,000 to 2,500 people. Yep.
Interesting. And what kinds of things are you doing to get CEOs like me to spend more money with you?
Yeah, sure. So a big thing that we do is we have a pretty awesome referral program where all of our clients can refer FreeeUp out to their network or out to other people, and they receive 50 cents for every single hour that's billed to anyone that they refer. So it's a pretty good incentive program that has gotten people interested in giving it out to people, and then those ones are interested. And if they end up billing a lot of hours, that first refer can make a decent amount of money. And of course, that's then offered to the next person as well. So a lot of new clients have come through the referral system. And then once they're in the system, a big thing that we do that is different than other platforms like Upwork is we're pretty hands-on. So once you actually sign up, we reach out to you personally. We talk to you about your hiring needs. We tell you all about the network and how we do things differently and the skill sets we have. So we stay pretty engaged with the people who are using us.
How can you afford to do that if I'm only buying 1 hour of time? You're only going to stand to make $2 on that.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of an upfront cost to be reaching out to people and talking to them. But we've seen that over time, people usually start slow. And then if they really enjoy the experience, it's something that becomes more and more a part of their business and their hiring plan.
Got it. Interesting. Okay, let's get some more kind of holistic things on this. So you launched it a year and a half ago. What's your team at today?
Teams around 20, 25 part-time people. So these are, again, we run the company completely remotely. So these are people, some in the United States, some a decent amount in the Philippines, and then other parts of the world. And we just hire people for very specialized roles. So I handle a lot of the marketing and advertising. So I have people who are helping me run our blog, helping me run our Facebook ads. We have these assistants in very specific roles, but it's around 20 to 25 people.
Got it. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, because we do these videos now for each thing, you're going to see this like beautiful, it looks almost like Tanzanian, like it's not a rug, but cloth hung behind Connor. Where are you in the world right now?
I'm in Orlando, Florida.
I knew you were going to say something basic. You were going to be like, I'm in Washington, D.C. or something.
Yeah. No, that's from South Africa. I lived there for a couple summers, so that's just like a memento from being there.
That's great. And how have you raised capital to date, or you're totally bootstrapped?
Totally bootstrapped, both businesses.
Okay. You're talking, when you say both, you mean the Amazon one and this one?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And in 2016, what was total transaction volume?
Total transaction 2016 was just a little bit over 1 million, I believe.
Okay.
And we're on pace this year to do between 3 and 4.
Okay. And can I take that 1 million and multiply times 0.2 to assume you did about 200 grand in revenue for yourself in 2016?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And then I was already thinking about my next question and totally neglected to hear what you just said about 2017 projected. What is that?
That's between 3 and 4 top line. So then again, take 20% of that and that'll give you what the company's actually earning.
Call it about 600, 700 grand this year. Yep. And so how do you decide, like, how do you figure out how to build how old are you?
27.
Okay. So 27. How do you figure out, the quickest way to build your personal wealth using these businesses as a vehicle to do that? And really that question simplified is, how do you decide when to pull money out? What do you pay yourself out of this business?
Yeah, good question. So it's kind of been a thing that we played with and toyed with as we were building both companies. So I've worked with the same business partner for about 7 years now. And so with the first Amazon business, we were putting a lot of cash back into the business to create more growth. And we had a larger full-time team. And so we kind of learned from that experience and saw that we should be taking out and growing our personal wealth a little bit more. And so with FreeeUp, we kind of have just an equation of how we do it. So for any of that 20% that we're earning, we usually take about half of it and pay ourselves out, put another quarter of it into actually regrowing the company, and then put the rest of the quarter into kind of a cash reserve so that we can make sure that the company's has a backup in case of times that are going down or we run into roadblocks along the way.
So to summarize that, in 2016, if you did about $200,000 in revenue, you'll take 100,000 of that, split it between you and your co-founder in this business. Then you'll take 50 grand, put it in reserves, and another 50 grand to reinvest.
Yeah, that's the basic principle of what we try to use to run the business.
Very cool. What rate are you growing at? And you can choose to use any metric you want to define that.
Okay, cool. So since last April, and this is based off of revenue, we've grown at about 1,000% to this April. So last April, we were only doing about $5,000 top revenue per week. And now, like we were talking about, we're doing that 65 to 80%.
Okay, sorry. So what do you mean 65 to 80% of $5,000?
Oh, 65 to 80 grand.
Yeah.
Sorry, per week.
Yeah. So you went from basically 5,000 a week now to well over $50,000 per week. That's where you get the growth from.
Correct. Yes.
Got it. That's impressive. So how do you win this space, right? Like, it's very crowded. You have Toptal, you have Freelancer, you got Fiverr, which is probably lower end than you. You've got Upwork. How do you win?
Yeah, for sure. So the way that we've been trying to win at first is in the e-commerce industry. So from building the Amazon business, that's really our core expertise. So we have a lot of experience there. We understand the whole business model. We understand what it takes to actually build a strong e-commerce company. And there isn't really a solution out there for online hiring platforms for these people yet. And so we're trying to win there first. We want to get these companies and the larger internet retailers who are using outsourcing as an aspect of their hiring to start using FreeeUp and to work with us to make this happen for them. And then once we're ready and we have the right resources, we can make bigger jumps into other categories. Like I said, we now offer some digital marketing because that kind of plays into running an e-commerce business. So we're trying to find different areas where there's interest from our current clients, and that can also bring us in new users as well.
When I was recently in New York meeting dozens and dozens of you that listen to the show, I showed many of you guys my SaaS analytics dashboard. I also showed you my website kind of conversion dashboard from impression to free trial to paying customer, along with many other dashboards I use in my business, like my social media command center and a few others. Now, all of these are built with one tool. I just dragged and dropped them together. You can see how I did that at nathanlatka.com/analytics. That's nathanlatka.com/analytics. Now, these dashboards, guys, are critical to my business. You know, I refresh them on my mobile phone right when I wake up in the morning. I roll over and boom, refresh. Or I'll refresh them right before I also take off on a flight because I'm just addicted to data and numbers. They drive my business. So I think they probably drive your business too. You can see my dashboards, how I use them at nathanlatka.com/analytics. Now, if you go through the regular website, that's the tool is called Portfolio, you only get 14 days free. You go through my link, you get 90 days free. So I got a great deal for you guys. It does expire, so you got to go there now. Yep, makes good sense. Connor, let's wrap up, man, with the famous 5. You ready? You know what these are, right? Because you listen to an episode, right?
You know it, yeah.
All right, number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Favorite business book right now is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Yeah, I always follow Elon Musk. He's a big idol for me. I like what he does.
What's your favorite online tool, like HostGator?
Yep. So we use Jira. Jira is awesome. Organize all tasks for devs, for all of our assistants. It's been really useful for us.
How many hours of sleep do you get every night?
5 to 6.
Okay, so not bad. And what's your situation? Married, single? Do you have kids?
Girlfriend of about 5 years. I live with her.
Got it. So no kids yet?
No kids.
All right. You travel the world. You said you're 27 years old, right?
Yep, correct.
All right. Last question, Connor. Take us home, man. Take us back 7 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
For sure. I wish I knew to stay focused on just what I do best. I was definitely, when I was younger, I was trying to do everything, and I found through building different businesses that you always got to surround yourself with people that do things better than you, so you can focus on what you do best and they can do what they do best. So I would say that was a flaw back when I was younger.
There you guys have it from Connor, the founder of FreeeUp. He started off having a lot of success on Amazon in his dorm room, where he did $250,000 of sales on Amazon many, many years ago. Now that company has done over $20 million in total sales through Amazon each year. It does about $1 to $2 million. They take about, call it 5 to 10% to the bottom line each month, which they split amongst the co-founders. Now he's building FreeeUp. Again, it's really a hiring marketplace for the Amazon e-commerce and digital marketing space. Last April, they were only processing about $5,000 worth of kind of build hours to freelancers at about $10 an hour. They've now increased that significantly, doing almost 50 grand per week in, again, total kind of hours per month to clients. The way they make money is they keep 20% of that total kind of project sales volume with a minimum dollar amount of $2 kind of per project. They're serving over, or they're billing over 500 CEOs per week. Those CEOs, again, hiring the freelancers, and they have well over 500 freelancers, or again, sellers selling their time or expertise per week. So Connor, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed today's episode with Connor, go back and listen to Dan yesterday. Dan is the fired ConvertKit co-founder that you've never heard of. When I asked him why he got fired, he said his father made him feel not worth enough. He never asked for equity, and he walked away with nothing. It would mean the world to me if you guys got any value from this episode, if you would go leave a review on iTunes right now and then subscribe. You know, I hustle like heck to get these episodes out every freaking day for you guys, and trust me, I love it. I would do it with no listeners, but boy, oh boy, it makes my day, and it makes my team's day when we see great reviews and get your feedback. So thanks so much. Okay, Top Tribe, I love giving away free money. I feel like Oprah giving away cars, and I have something special for you today. How many of you have heard our super sharp guests talk about success they've had with Facebook and Google Ads? Well, all of you listening right now, yes, if you're listening, you get $100 in free AdWords. Here's how you get it, okay? Again, thanks for listening. Get the free $100 from Google, right, when you sign up with my website host provider, HostGator. Go sign up now to get your free money. HostGator.com/Nathan. Again, that's HostGator.com/Nathan.